Hey, fellow vendors, Brandon Brooks coming to you from Vending Marketplace and also Vending in Texas on Facebook. Thank you guys for being a part of this group. You can pretty much find all your answers in this group and find some key people to interact with and buy good machines with locations or just machines only. I'm really happy where the groups are going. So I appreciate everybody being a part of that group. And please share that group with other vendors because a lot of us and the mods in there are vendors and they can answer some pretty amazing questions, honestly. Like this, Witten 3589 has this problem and they can answer it. I don't even know what that is, but anyway. I don't know everything, but I'll tell you what I do know. Tyler, is I know how to build and sell a vending business. And I also know how to build and buy or sell vending locations. So I definitely know how to do that. Let me just tell you, I achieved my 5-year goal. My 5-year goal was to become completely vertical in the vending space. I'm talking about I build my own machines, I get my own locations, I place my own equipment, and I sell my own location. I'm telling you what, that's a big goal that I made, and we are doing it. I brought a fellow vendor along to help me achieve that goal. He's an engineer, and he's engineered the most amazing machines, bulletproof machines, and helped me achieve that 5-year goal, becoming completely vertical. Building your own machines, one of the biggest things about that is you control your own destiny. And when I say that is, if you ever been to a spot and you get an account and you find yourself running around looking for machines, a lot of vendors can't find those machines. They end up losing those big accounts. So I decided, you know what? Instead of going around and trying to source machines and buying from this scammer and buying from that scammer and buying somebody else's problem, the only way to scale, in my opinion, is to have equipment ready. Now, having equipment ready is a financial thing, right? Like, oh yeah, Brandon, that sounds easy. Just have financial, or have equipment ready. That's 30 grand sitting there. Well, I tell you what, if you have to sleep on the floor on an air mattress somewhere, then you do it. You save that money and you buy those machines or you buy whatever you have to do, and you'll be able to control your own destiny. When I say control your own destiny, you'll own your equipment. You don't have bottler equipment. You're not leasing equipment. It's your equipment that you worked hard for and you saved for. Now you can control your own destiny. And the program I've put together here is kind of ever changing, but we are now building people's machines for them. So if they get a big account, let's say, hey, they want to have some machines built and they want their logo or the customer's logo on those machines, they can get with me, they can get with the design team, and we will actually have those machines designed for you and brought to you. Yes, they are from China. There's, China machines. But I'm telling you, to have that delivered to your customer doesn't know they're from China. Come on. Just get your equipment, have their logo on it, have their name on it, and you're probably going to have that account for the next 15 years to feed your family. Now think about that. You can pick up the phone and actually call somebody and order equipment with the customer's name on it that you can now have delivered and install, and our team will help you actually do the install. If you don't feel comfortable with it, you're not ready for it, we'll help you transition that account. Yeah, it's going to cost you, but you're going to have that account for the next 15 years. That's a completely vertical situation that I personally built for myself. So I started thinking about, I wonder if I could do this for other people. I wonder if I could completely make it a situation where these vendors can control their destiny. And that's what we've done here. So that was my 5-year plan. I've achieved that. Part of that plan also is coaching and mentorship. Now, coaching and mentorship is a unique situation because everybody's different. You have established vendors that, let's say, know what they're doing. You have established vendors that think they know what they're doing. You have vendors that are getting in the business. So all those situations are different. So some vendors want to scale. Some vendors don't know how to put change in a coin mech. But everybody needs someone, I think, because I sure could use someone. So you can pay me, and I'll teach you. I'll teach you. I haven't exactly figured out a way to do it through Zoom because a lot of my teachings is hands-on. So part of my teaching is helping that vendor also find locations. So when I say find locations, we're going to get in the car, we're going to knock on the door, and we're going to go hand out business cards. And through that process, you're going to understand what to say, how to reply, and more importantly, what not to say. Don't say the wrong thing. And I tell my customers, when we're in front of a big customer, don't say a word. Because if you say the wrong thing, then they're not going to go with us. You need to know what you're talking about before you go knock on those big doors and get those canteen accounts. You have to deliver the right answer and the right product. And that's what I train. Yes, you're going to make a lot of money. Yes, I'm going to charge you. But you're going to make a lot of money for the rest of your life. What a valuable skill that you're gonna learn from me. And it's no different than paying a fishing guide out in Florida to take you to catch a tuna and release it if you want, or you can chop it up and eat it. But you pay a fishing guide $1,500 a day to take you out and fishing, take your picture and take you back. I take you out for $1,500 a day or half a day for $1,000. And I teach you how to land those big fish, those big marlin, those whales that are going to feed you. So you're not going to just throw it back, take a picture. We're going to go out. I'm going to teach you. You're going to land that whale, and you're going to land another whale when I'm gone.
So through your coaching class, not only are you going to teach me to get my own machine, you're also going to show me how to talk to much bigger clients.
Yeah, so the 5-year goal, like I said, was completely vertical. And I'm going to teach other vendors, if they choose. Some vendors don't care. They're like, I don't care. Just teach me how to get the account. Okay, fine. You can deal with sourcing your own machines. That's great. Or we'll have a program set up, or I can coach you into getting the location, sourcing machines, filling machines, because not everybody knows how to fill machines, especially you get an account that has 6 or 10 of them. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know your product procurement, where to get product, where not to get product. Where to get product, I mean, where am I going to save 10%? Where am I going to make 10%, basically, more margin because I can go over here. But if I go over here, I'm going to lose 10% margin. All that stuff's going to be taught. Very impactful when you're doing $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 as a vendor. 10% goes a long way. That's just in product procurement.
So if this was the 5-year goal, by what you're teaching me and us, is that going to cut off 5 years of our learning curve? Is this going to, or just a few years out of that?
That's a good question. I would say no, because not everybody is as crazy, as ambitious as me. I've always been ambitious. I've always started businesses. I've started and sold businesses my entire life. It's just not for everybody. So I understand that. So I understand this is probably a business that this person's going to have until they're 60. So having said that, it's not for everybody, but I'm going to teach you that to get your business and build it up, and then I'm going to teach you how to sell your business.
It makes sense. It makes sense what you're saying now, because if I own my own machine, then I can't get jerked around and ripped out or whatever. I can control the logistics. I can keep the account longer, and you're going to train me on getting a much more valuable client.
Tyler is a videographer, and he picking up on all this, right? So that's great, Tyler, that you're seeing all that, but you're exactly right. A guy like you on the outside looking to get in the vending, let's call it a side hustle, right? People want to get a side hustle. Well, Tyler, you just said you're new and you just understood. You're going to teach me this, this, and this, and this? Yes. Doesn't that answer a lot of questions?
Yeah, because hardly anybody will want you to shadow them because you will start replicating what they do. But
Absolutely. So, I mean, people always say, Brandon, why would you give up? Why would you give up those accounts? Why would you give up those ringer accounts? I can't believe you would give away an account that does $500,000 a day. Why would you do that? Because I don't want to feel the son bitch all the time. I've done that. I had accounts I had to go to every day, 5 days a week for years. Yeah, it was lucrative. Yeah, I made lots of money. But I didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, man, I got married and I wanted to start another life. And I said, there's got to be another way. So I chose to become this way and get into coaching and guiding others. They can make all that money. They can just pay me a fee and I'll go help somebody else. I'm not worried about them trying to do what I do because it's very difficult. When I say very, extremely difficult. Some people, oh, well, I used to work for Canteen. I can go get an account. Just because you used to work for a vendor doesn't mean you can go out there, find the business, install the business, and please that customer. You have to know what you're doing, have to know who to call, and know how to execute. Do you have it in you? I do.
I think one day, I think the amount of information that you could offer is going to be on the guru level of valuable.
Well, I hope so. I hope so because I have lost sleep for the past, 7, 8 years I've been doing this, trying to understand this industry. Not only understand the current industry, also understand where this industry's going, where it's going. Well, everybody knows they can follow me on Vending Marketplace, Vending in Texas. I'm very bullish on micro markets. Now, my micro markets are unique. My micro markets are more like mini micro markets. But let me tell you, they're profitable mini markets. And yes, I do not know the theft. I do not know how many people actually take Sour Patch Kids and put it in their pocket and never pay. But I don't worry about it. The reason I don't worry about it is because I'm accelerating the value of that account by installing one of those little micro mini markets. Not only I'm accelerating the sales and the value, the profitability is extremely higher, and you're able to offer so much more just in those small markets. And frankly, I can put a market in for the same price I can put a nice BevMax and a AP 123. So why not do a little micro mini market and get more, and get more margin out of it, get more sales out of it. The only thing that worried me about a micro market, and I told this to my son, as an investor, I said, man, the micro markets scare me because I don't know what assets I have. So if I'm going to invest in something and park some money, when I park it in vending machines, I still see my money. So you walk into a big school account, you'll see $50,000 in machines sitting around. You're like, oh, there's my investment sitting right there. There's 5, there's 10, there's 9, there's 5, there's 10. Okay, there's my 50 grand. You walk into a micro market, it's like, shit, I got a freezer, a refrigerator, and a couple of racks and a kiosk. Nobody's going to buy that kiosk. Nobody's going to buy that refrigerator for what I paid for it when I get done with it. It's a cooler. Nobody's going to buy that rack that I got that holds chips and snacks. There's no use. It's kind of useless. And the kiosk, no, it's useless, really. So from that investment as an investor, that scared me. So I think, man. But you know what? After I got some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going. I was like, God, look at those deposits. My heavens. It was worth it. It was worth it. So the good outweighed the bad. So you can, vending machines, it's good to know both. Vending machines is a good place to park money and let it, you run them and make money. Markets, really good way to become more cash rich, more cash flow. You got more margin. It's a more efficient business. It's efficient all the way around. Productivity, no service calls because I didn't do cash. Yeah, there's some sales left on the table there, but it was worth it for me because my time is valuable. So anytime there's a bill acceptor or coins involved or credits, I don't have time for it. Yes, some people say, oh, you're leaving all that money on the table. I chose that. I chose to leave that cash on the table. For me, my efficiency and me moving on to my other market, mini market, is what I chose to do. And you can follow that on my Facebook groups, Vending Marketplace and Vending in Texas, and see my progress. I think I had a period of, Tyler, that I had a good run, man. You ever gone to Las Vegas?
Yeah.
You ever? I know you've been to Las Vegas. I know that you've been there with some friends of ours. And you ever see them get on a run?
Yep, I have.
Mm-hmm. You ever been on a run?
I have a few times.
Well, let me tell you, I was on a micro market run. I think I did 8 or 9 micro markets in 12 weeks. Dude, that's a hell of a run. Actually, I think at one time it was 6 in 6 weeks or something crazy number. I have to go back and look, but
So you're almost one per week.
it was unbelievable. I was on a run. I was knocking on doors. I was turning these markets. I was setting these markets. And then I got to a point, I was like, shit, all I'm doing is filling these things. I mean, they're doing several $100s a day each. My God, I'm spending my whole time back to square one when I sold my vending route, back to filling all these markets. So I started educating people on markets. And then I started selling my markets. And let me tell you, they have prospered. They have really done well. I think I undersold them. I know I did, but I need it out of them because I need to go make YouTube shorts.
So speaking of this content, your courses and your sessions that we'll go through in the coaching, do they go beyond the initial foundation where you're helping us escape the entrapment of it? Like, are you gonna have information on how to scale and grow? Is that kind of what you're alluding to?
Yeah, so I will have kind of a level 2, level 3 program for vendors that want to scale and what we can do for them. A lot of these vendors that want to scale, they're kind of arrogant. They got an ego, like, I'm doing 1.7 million. I don't need you. Well, that's fine. You think that, but I can come in and change your business and you'll be doing 2.7. It's the vendors that are willing to bring someone else in that knows what they're doing and take advantage of that service to scale your business, but they just have to let their ego go and let someone else open their minds up to different ways and different opportunities maybe they don't see. That's an investment, that the company has to make. Just like any company, when you bring in a consultant, a consultant comes in and says, hey, you realize we can be 2x, 3x if y'all just do this. Sometimes they don't see it, but you never know. So that's a level 2, level 3 kind of package that we'll be offering.
That I think that can reassure, the stability of the investment of a coaching. I've personally taken some coaching classes in some different areas, particularly in my industry, and I can say, like, the price that you said was the exact price that I paid, and I thought I knew a lot, but I was surprised at the information that I absorbed. And over the next 2 years, I mean, I got 50x on my investment, and there were still more courses I could buy, and I still could, and I just haven't, because I'm still doing so well off of the one. So I understand the value. So whoever's watching this, like, you're shaving off, in my opinion, I think you're shaving off a huge learning curve, And it sounds to me like you're setting them up on a foundation to where they, like you said, they control their destiny.
Yeah. So control at level 2, level 3, when I talk about, when you ask me about that, now getting away from bottler equipment is a big deal. For when I say bottler equipment, Tyler, just let you know, Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper and Pepsi, they have a program where they will give you the equipment um, if you buy a certain amount of product from them. From them, you hear that?
Yep.
Well, from them, they dictate what you can allow, you're allowed to stock in their machines. Also, they overcharge you significantly for the product. So you're basically moving money around and you don't own your equipment. So what I'm going to teach you is what everybody knows is get your own equipment. Get out of the lease. Because once you get your own equipment, which I can help do, once you get your own equipment, now you can change your repertoire you're offering. You can change your sizes. You're not strangled by the bottler equipment. And now you're able to go to Kroger, go to Walmart, go to Costco, Sam's, buy a smaller size, which is 16.9, put it almost at the same price as you're buying from Coke, and you're going to make 40% more margin. It's a no-brainer, but you got to ass up. You got to ass up for those machines, but you're going to get paid back, even if you go do what I did. What did I do? Moved in a little shanty in Dallas with my son, slept on an air mattress for 2 years. We put everything. We committed to each other. We're going to put everything back in this business. I don't care how shitty our life is. We're going to eat Oreos and Doritos and sleep on air mattresses for the next 2 years. And we did that. We built a juggernaut that way, and we owned all of our shit. So the reason why we were able to buy more shit is because we were super profitable. Why were we super profitable? Because we chose to go the hard way. We chose to go the hard way, save money, reinvest in your business, and grow that business. Yeah, it helps when you got me involved because, business is slow. COVID happened, lost 73% of my business. 73. Got one of my best accounts ever during COVID. Instead of sitting around, I went and knocked on doors, Tyler. I was crying. 73% of 900,000 is a big fucking number.
Yep.
So, man, I was like, oh, my God, I have lost everything. But instead, I did cry. I ain't going to lie to you, Tyler. I did cry about it for about 14 days almost. And then I was like, you know what? You got to get back out there. You got to be out. And when that happened, that really kind of turned everything up for me, turned the level up. And then once I started getting accounts during COVID, then you're doing pretty good. Whenever you knock on a door with a mask and get an account, I mean, that was pretty good.
Changed.
And man, I had the good ones for out there, but I kind of rebuilt the route that way. I re-strategized on what I was doing and the services I was offering. So I don't recommend everybody losing 73% of the business, but if it happens, most people would fold and run like I almost did. And I was like, hell no, hell to the no. I got 200 G's out there in equipment. Better get out there and go fetch it. So I did.
So because if you collapsed, that means everybody around you in your industry is also collapsing. So it's almost like a reset. You can run back out and hit the streets.
Yeah, I think every vendor I spoke with at that time was averaging 60 to 70% down. So we just maybe had a few accounts, a handful of accounts that were carrying us through that tough time. But those handful of accounts were not sustainable. So it was a good time to acquire too. There was an acquisition phase there that I probably should have tried to capitalize on as vendors were bailing. I mean, that was a good time to scoop up those accounts, but we'll see if hopefully that never happen again.
Well, I mean, everything that you just said, I mean, I'm new to this, and I completely understand what you're saying. I mean, this isn't just I think what you're talking about, and what you're the coaching sessions that you're offering, I don't think they're going to be just targeted even to brand new people. I mean, I think that people who are already existing need to turn their head and listen to what you have to say too.
Yeah, it's an ego thing. Vendors, I deal with them every day, and like I said, they think they know what they're doing, and but it's like it's dumb to me. It's like, okay, yeah, you're doing 180,000, a year. You're take your paychecks, you're making 80, 90 G's after that. Like everybody's comfortable, and if you're not comfortable with that, call me. Call me. We'll go, you got $1,500. Let's just spend some time together, and whatever you choose to do after that, that's either on you, or you can call me again, because once you're a customer of mine, you can call me on my cell phone right here. My customers call me all the time. What I don't want, this is probably one of the biggest things I like to touch on, Tyler. So, coaching. I'm going to go out and I'm going to show you, and you're going to ride with me, and we're going to do some presentations. We're going to hand out some cards. We're going to, a lot of different scenarios. We're going to reply to customers and what they say, and kind of nuances of any kind of sales call. So we'll probably visit to 15 to 20 businesses that day. So you're going to be exposed to a lot. The most important thing is, don't think for 1 second that you can go out there and do this next week. Because here's what happens. Let's say Tommy rides a Brandon. Oh, man, I got this. He taught me how to do it. They go out there next week. He's knocking on doors. He gets a lead. Maybe he calls me or something. Hey, man, I got a lead. Will you help me close it? Well, maybe. That's another fee. But if I'm feeling good that day, I might do it for you, just because I like my ego stroke sometimes. I'm not going to close it for you, but if I do, you have to understand that just because you got a lead and you might have a situation where you might get an account, doesn't mean you can pull it off. There's a lot that's got to happen after you get a yes, especially if it's a big account. What are you going to do after you get a yes? Oh, my God, I got to get machines. Well, do you know who to call? No. Oh, I got to get product. Where you know where to go? No. You got credit card readers? Well, I don't know if I have any. I don't know if I have enough. You got a mover? Oh, I don't have a mover. Well, what's your plan? They're ready to move in next week. Well, I got to go look for machines. Well, where are you going to go? So that's what I'm talking about. So in the meantime that you're diddly-daddling around thinking you know what you're doing, you're losing that account. You're showing that location. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. And guess what they're going to say? That's okay. We chose somebody else. So my point is, just because you spend a day with me doesn't mean it's the last you're going to see me, maybe. Let's say you get a lead, and Brandon, I need help installing this thing, man. Well, that's fine. We got a package for that. Brandon, I need help getting machines. That's fine. We got a package for that. That's what you want. Because like I said, you're going to have this thing for the next 15 years. What are you worried about a couple of grand up front? I think that location could do 700 a day, 3,000 a week. What are you worried about? 4,000 a week, whatever. What are you worried about assing up front? Anyway, that was a little rant, because I'm not worried about me training somebody and them going out there and nailing accounts. It doesn't bother me.
Yep. I mean, if you're going to pay a little bit of money to cut off a learning curve like that, I mean, hello.
So here, my best case scenario is, you get started, you ride with me, I teach you, and then you get 1 or 2 or 3 accounts under your belt. Learn the business, learn what it takes, maybe get a smaller new account, learn who to call as a mover, learn who to call as a coin mech, learn who to call as a validator, learn who to call when it comes to credit card readers or a market. You need to know what you're doing before you go tackle these accounts from scratch. Because if not, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a difficult time, because, for one, none of these people in the industry know you, and you're calling up and trying to get favors delivered for you because you chose to be, Superman, try to pull all this off. In the meantime, you might get it done. You might. But you're going to be spinning around in your wheels. Anyway, that was just a little rant. Sorry.
Nope. It makes total sense. You're taking that part out.
It makes sense?
Yep.
I know it makes sense. I think it does. I think it does, because I've been there. I've been there where I'm like, well, I don't know who to call for a compressor. I have people that DM me daily. Who do I call about my refrigeration problem? Here's my contact. Send him your key number, your issue, and what time you'll be there or whatever. That's all you need. He'll handle it. I mean, to be able, tell him Brandon sent you. I don't get a cut, but you know what? I keep my relationship with my refrigeration guy on point. So when I call him, I come before you. So anyway, there's just a lot of nuances in this business.
And how do we get in touch with you?
Good question. So the easiest way to contact me is through Facebook, Vending Marketplace, or Vending in Texas. I also have a website, buysellvending.com. Buysellvending.com, I set that website up, and I have just been inundated with a lot of inquiries and subscription newsletters and things that I really haven't put together the right formula to get back to everybody. So I'm struggling there, to be honest with you, keeping up with all the inquiries. So really through Facebook, a DM, that's probably the best way for me. And that way I keep your name and everything's relative in conversations, and I can call you. I don't need your cell phone number. I can call you through the app or whatever it may be if something comes up. So once again, Facebook, Vending Marketplace, and Vending in Texas, and buysellvending.com.
Nice. I'll put that up on the screen.
Man, this has been a lot of questions today, and I love it. These are things that I look forward to talking about for a long time. I've been sitting on this recipe of what I want to talk about and things I want to educate people about for a long time. So it's good to talk about it. And it's good to have the people that I'm going to have on. I got an excellent lineup. Tyler, you know that. We got a lot of big lineup coming.
You got an impressive lineup. I was really surprised.
Impressive lineup. Relationships that I've built over the years. Relationships that are going to help other people watching this content. Help them. They know where to turn when something is needed. So excited about this chapter in my life. I sure don't miss stocking Snickers for a living. Anything else?
That's all I can think of. I can't wait till the next session.
All right. Till we meet again, fellow vendors, and chat with me, and feel free to hit me up or one of my mods. My mods are excellent. And stay tuned. And if you have any success stories or hardships or whatever you got, we'd love to hear them on there, and we'll do what we can as a group to resolve them best we can for you. Until we meet again, fellow vendors, peace out.